Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to the second episode of the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the megastar Austin Savage. I'd like to call this episode the Raw Wrap-Up. It's very early Tuesday morning. Yes, I'm staying up late. To talk about Raw and things I like, things I didn't like, so forth and so on. Punk opening the show, and I understand the show was in Chicago and it was his hometown. I thought his promo came off really strong, and when Orton came out and it looked like he was going to get his revenge and punt Punk, had that happen there'd be no Mania match, so you knew that wasn't going to happen. Then when he went to punt him, he blew out his knee, or his knee was messed up or whatever. That, to me, made Orton look really weak. Really, really weak. You know, then you flash forward in the show just to finish the topic of Punk Orton, and he makes this, statement that the question shouldn't be, am I going to make it to Mania? Is Punk going to make it out of Mania? I mean, it makes him get back just a little bit of that strength. ENC, Edge and Christian, teaming up for the first time in 6 years on Raw against Del Rio and Brutus Clay. It was great to see those guys work in a tag match together. Flashing back to the 90s when they were huge. And, the early 2000s. To me, this match really didn't add anything, but it didn't take anything away from their match at Mania. And I guess with the graphic they showed on Raw, they're trying to shoot down the rumor that Christian's going to be added to the Mania match and make it a triple threat. Which, they still could work it out still on SmackDown if they wanted to. To me, again, that wouldn't add or take anything away from Del Rio Edge. I liked the finish of that match. The spear looked really good on Clay. For hitting it on such a big guy. When Del Rio had the armbar on Christian and Edge made the save and chased Del Rio off, I knew he was going to come back and attack Edge. I've been a fan a long time. I just saw it coming. With that said, for anybody that's seen my first episode of the show, I'll stick with my original Mania prediction, and that is that Del Rio will become heavyweight champion. We heard from the anonymous GM 36 minutes into the show this week, and made the match between Lawler and Swagger, which I guess is supposed to add something to Mania. Swagger's not in the match, he's the trainer. I'm sure he'll get into the match. The Taker Triple H hype video was really good. It actually made me say, wow, this is going to be epic. After watching the package, I don't know if anybody else has thought of this, it made me think about something that not a lot of you, or even me up until tonight, had thought about. Running down their respective WrestleMania opponents. Of course, everybody knows Undertaker's 18-0. Triple H has a WrestleMania record of 7-7, so not too bad. Here I have a list of opponents for each guy. And looking down this list, I'll run it down real quick. Taker has fought Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Jake the Snake Roberts, Giant Gonzalez, King Kong Bundy, Diesel, Psycho Sid, Kane, Bossman, Triple H at WrestleMania. WWE doesn't want you to know that. Ric Flair, Big Show and A-Train, Kane again, Randy Orton, Mark Henry, Batista, Edge, and of course everybody knows the last two Manias, it's been Shawn Michaels. Now of those 18 opponents, I've got 6 pegged as not being in their prime. Snuka was not in his prime when he fought Taker. Jake the Snake was on the decline. Giant Gonzalez never had a prime. King Kong Bundy had been wrestling for, 25-30 years at this point. Big Boss Man was, he was alright, but God rest his soul, he just wasn't up to par with The Undertaker. And of course, Ric Flair, and I said it in my videos that, I'm a huge Flair fan. but he wasn't in his prime. So you take those 6 away and you're 12-0. And I'm not discrediting the streak, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be upset about this, but I'm not. Now you look at Triple H in order. The Ultimate Warrior, Goldust, Owen Hart, Big Show, Mick Foley, and Rock in a 4-way. Undertaker, Chris Jericho, Booker T, Benoit, and Michaels in a triple threat. Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, John Cena in a triple threat. Randy Orton and Sheamus. We've got one of those guys on the decline. 2 if you count Mick Foley. But then again, you know, he really didn't have to carry that much of the match because there was 3 other guys. So, okay, I mean, you got 2 guys on Triple H's record that really don't live up to par. And you have 6 on the Undertaker's side. And I'm not saying that the streak isn't important, because most of us think it is. It's his streak. It will probably never be broken. But getting back to the list, the point I was trying to make is, I mean, you run down Triple H's opponents. Let's just take the last 6 years. Benoit, Michaels, Batista, John Cena, Orton and Cena, Orton Solo, and Sheamus. That's a who's who in the WWE. And yes, if you take, let's take 6 of Undertaker's last opponents. So you got Michaels twice, Edge, Batista, Mark Henry, and Randy Orton. Okay, so they have a lot of common opponents. To me, I mean, it's the streak. I'm just gonna stop because it doesn't make any sense to just keep talking about it. But I mean, does the streak mean anything to the Undertaker? Does it mean anything to Triple H? It means something to the fans. But then again, so does the whole Triple Crown Grand Slam Championship thing to fans. Doesn't mean a lot to the wrestlers, I don't think. Moving on. Why aren't the WWE Tag and IC titles being defended at WrestleMania? Both of those champions are in a, what is it, an 8-man tag match? 8-man elimination match? I'm not even paying attention. And when the hell did Wade Barrett become the Intercontinental Champion? I must have missed that. But then again, I don't watch SmackDown, so I missed it apparently. You know, in this match that they had on Raw tonight was a filler match for Raw to promote a filler match on WrestleMania. You know, I understand this is the go-home show before Mania, and they're really at a loss of what to do, other than the night of confrontations that they kept promoting. A very good promo work by Triple H during his confrontation with The Undertaker. Why they brought out Shawn Michaels is beyond me. Does that constitute a comeback? Because I don't know. I mean, I'm not calling Shawn Michaels a hypocrite, but I mean, he did try to super kick The Undertaker. And I'm getting off topic again. I mean, I know why they brought it back when they announced he was going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. That was warranted. I mean, that was fine. I just don't want to see him get involved at Mania, because to me, that does make him a hypocrite. Performing on WrestleMania. The tag match they had with... who the hell was it? I just watched it. Dolph Ziggler and I don't remember, but it was against John Morrison anyways, and I can't remember who his partner was. Wow. Well, making these videos is stressful, by the way. For anybody that's thinking about doing it, do your homework first. I'm tired, I worked all day. Anyways, again, this was a filler match on Raw for a filler match on the pay-per-view. And then they did the whole Snooki and Trish Stratus on the Jersey Shore and then had Lay Cool show up at the bar they were in and have a cat fight. It's a cat fight. Call it a fight, call it a barroom brawl. It's a cat fight. Which, I mean, was funny as hell to watch. Don't get me wrong. Watching four girls roll around on a barroom floor, roll around on a pool table. I mean, that's money right there. That's entertainment. Probably the highest rated segment of the whole show to that point. Cena Rock Miz promo that ended Raw. Great promo work by all three. And I hate to say that because I hate John Cena. I mean, it furthered Miz Cena, which, I mean, they finally put the Miz back in the whole picture because, I mean, he's the WWE champion. He should be in the picture. And the ending in which Cena delivered the Attitude Adjustment to the Brock furthers their storyline for the eventual Cena Rock match at, in my opinion, should be at SummerSlam, because that's the next big pay-per-view. Alright, with that said, I'm going to wrap this show up. This is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am the Megastar Austin Savage. Email me questions, comments, topics you want me to talk about, other than, you know, the Raw Wrap-Up, SmackDown Wrap-Up, Impact Wrap-Up, because I'm probably going to do those every week now. My email address is wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Comment below, video responses, positive, negative. I'm up for everything, fans. Alright, I'll catch you later. Again, this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. Peace, guys. See you after Impact.